Hello everyone and welcome back to Iraqi Dinar Hub, your go-to destination for timely updates on global currency revaluation, economic intelligence, and strategic developments shaping the financial world. Whether you're tuning in for the first time or are one of our dedicated viewers, we're honored to have you here. If you're new, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because the next few weeks could redefine global finance. You won't want to miss what may be the most pivotal period in recent monetary history. And to all of our loyal followers, thank you for your continued support. This channel is growing thanks to your curiosity, preparedness, and drive to stay ahead of the curve. Today's topic is one of urgency and significance. We're observing an extraordinary financial alignment centered around the Iraqi Dinar IQD and Vietnamese Dong VND. This is not a drill. We're not talking about baseless internet rumors or casual chatter. We're looking at credible developments from inside the financial sector. According to reports, multiple top-tier banking institutions have initiated operational changes that appear to support fixed-rate models for the IQD and VND. We're talking about possible rates of $5.90 for the dinar and $429 for the dong. These figures aren't simply being thrown around on forums. They are allegedly embedded within institutional platforms at major banks, including JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, and Chase. When such institutions begin to recalibrate core systems, especially involving international settlements and foreign exchange models, it signals something substantial. These are changes that cost money and require authorization at very high levels. For all three banking powerhouses to act simultaneously suggests that a verified and coordinated catalyst is already in motion. These aren't isolated decisions, they're concerted efforts, possibly backed by multi-governmental frameworks or interbank accords. Analysts now believe that updates to bank liquidity strategies, foreign currency modules, and audit mechanisms are all pointing in one direction: an impending fixed-rate shift. This is more than a valuation tweak. It's a strategic overhaul of global currency processing infrastructure. It suggests that currencies long considered undervalued are being repositioned within the global system. The evidence points toward a transition from speculative hope to actionable logistics. It's not just a financial theory anymore, it's turning into a global implementation phase. Should Iraq and Vietnam truly adopt these elevated fixed exchange rates, it would represent the starting line of an immense economic reconfiguration. This shift could reset the entire balance of international monetary policy. When a country strengthens its currency value, especially with supporting fundamentals like rising commodity exports, fiscal discipline, and political stabilization, the surrounding region must adapt. It could force central banks across Europe, the Middle East, and Asia to revise currency strategies and capital safeguards. Investment firms might need to immediately rebalance portfolios. Sovereign funds could start directing capital toward emerging economies long seen as undervalued opportunities. This type of event would also reshape monetary policy across continents. Governments would have to adjust their inflation strategies, interest rates, and even how they hold foreign reserves. For individual holders of IQD or VND, this wouldn't just be a payday, it could be a financial breakthrough of generational proportions. We're not witnessing an isolated currency move. We're potentially watching a broader paradigm shift. The return to real value currency models, anchored by assets and measurable output, could soon define the new global standard. And the dinar and dong are taking center stage in this unfolding realignment. The case for the Iraqi dinar's revaluation is incredibly strong and has been for years. Iraq is rich in natural resources. Especially oil, and has been boosting its output consistently. Strategic contracts with nations like China and India have expanded foreign reserves and created stronger fiscal support. At the same time, Iraq has rolled out reforms to limit corruption, upgrade economic governance, and rebuild essential infrastructure. These are key ingredients needed before any serious monetary policy shift can take place. Each move adds another layer of readiness. And readiness is precisely what revaluation demands. Vietnam is equally positioned for a currency correction. For over a decade, Vietnam has dominated the export and manufacturing sectors, boasting consistent trade surpluses. The country's focus on digital banking innovation and a rising middle class adds resilience to its economy. The Vietnamese Dong has remained suppressed for competitive trade, but that model may now be shifting. With more stable regional trade and stronger financial regulations in place, Vietnam appears ready to reprice its currency. Together, Iraq and Vietnam seem to be moving in a synchronized pattern that is too deliberate to be accidental. The timing and structure point to a coordinated financial recalibration. Why now? What's driving this acceleration in mid-2025? The answer appears to be a mix of necessity and opportunity. Global economic instability in recent years, particularly post-pandemic, has exposed flaws in the fiat currency framework. Long-standing imbalances are becoming harder to ignore. As trust in traditional reserve currencies wanes, financial leaders are re-evaluating priorities. BRICS nations, for example, are openly challenging the dollar's global dominance. A more balanced, multipolar monetary system is no longer theoretical, it's becoming an active agenda. The growing conversation around locked-in values like $629 for IQD and $485 for VND is evidence of how seriously this is being taken. If those exchange rates become official, the consequences will reverberate across sectors. Central banks might need to step in to control domestic inflation or currency arbitrage. Gold, oil, and other commodities could experience pricing pressure. Financial market stocks, bonds, and cryptocurrencies may shift direction rapidly. What distinguishes this moment from past speculation is the level of infrastructure already being altered. Banks aren't just talking about changes, they're implementing them. That means timelines are compressing and institutions are preparing for real action, not just contingency. Evidence is stacking up. Wells Fargo's internal systems are reportedly monitoring dinar and dong activity more closely. JP Morgan is expanding currency operations in areas linked to Iraq and Vietnam. Chase is recalibrating financial models based on forecasted revaluation inputs. These are not hypothetical measures. These are deep system changes. For institutions to invest this level of time and resources, they either know what's coming or are directly participating in the orchestration. When banks begin reassigning capital for analysts and reprogramming automated systems, it signals something far bigger than just speculation. It points to regulatory guidance and institutional cooperation. That kind of coordination suggests the groundwork has been laid: scenario mapping, compliance overhauls, liquidity prep, all in that. Anticipation of currency shifts. In simple terms, this is no longer about if, but when. The train is in motion. What does this mean for everyday currency holders? At the rumored values, the returns would be staggering. A person holding 100,000 IQD purchased for $100 could, under a $629 rate, suddenly be holding over $500,000. That's not hype, that's math. Scale that globally, and you're looking at a redistribution of wealth that redefines financial planning for millions. But this goes beyond individual gain. A major revaluation could catalyze foreign direct investment in Iraq and Vietnam. Real estate markets could boom. Manufacturing could surge. Middle classes in both nations might experience improved living standards, greater buying power, and increased employment. These economic benefits would be far-reaching. Still, caution is advised. Until public exchange procedures are formally announced and rates locked in, nothing is guaranteed. But early preparation, backed by real data, could be a smart move. Now, let's step back and consider the broader picture. What if this isn't just about IQD or VND? What if we're looking at a coordinated global financial reset? That idea, long dismissed by mainstream analysts, is now getting renewed attention. Reports of redemption centers facilities designed for secure, large-scale currency exchange suggest an organized rollout plan may already be underway. Such facilities could streamline conversion, enhance security, and offer efficiency no traditional bank could manage on short notice. This kind of logistics points to planning at the highest levels. More interestingly, other undervalued currencies may be part of the larger blueprint. We're hearing whispers from financial networks about Zimbabwe, Indonesia, and even Eastern European currencies being positioned for reevaluation. If true, this would indicate we're just entering the first phase of a multi-tiered global currency realignment. This is not just a monetary event, it's an effort to rewrite the rules of global trade and value distribution. Those who are alert, informed, and ready may find themselves on the front edge of a generational shift. Iraq's leadership is making some bold plays on the world stage. They're not just talking reform, they're executing it. From digitized banking to international partnerships, Iraq is laying the foundation for a financially sovereign future. Their engagement with the IMF, World Bank, and regional powerhouses shows they're serious about integration. Revenue from oil is being used more strategically, aligned with international accounting standards. Transparency is rising. Reserves are being managed with care. These are signs that Iraq isn't just preparing, it's actively qualifying for a revaluation. Vietnam is racing forward as well. Its reforms are just as aggressive. From improved banking regulations and technology expansion to stronger global trade alliances, Vietnam is building credibility fast. The goal is clear: currency stability, international trust, and economic resilience. If these strategic reforms continue, Vietnam could join Iraq at the forefront of this financial transition. Both countries are moving with intention. These aren't random developments, they are milestones leading to a new monetary era based on data and delivery. And delivery. If the projected fixed rates are made public and official, we might witness one of the most significant financial transformations in modern history, not in decades, but possibly in days. The implications go far beyond Iraq or Vietnam. We may see a turning point where undervalued currencies take their rightful place in the monetary system. For years, nations have kept currencies artificially low to manage debt or boost trade. But that strategy is becoming obsolete. Now, there's a growing call for value-based, asset-supported financial systems. If Iraq and Vietnam succeed in managing a smooth and sustainable revaluation, they'll set the bar for other nations to follow. Think Zimbabwe, Indonesia, Egypt, countries with economic potential and suppressed currencies. This could lead to a major reshuffling of investor priorities. Hedge funds, pension funds, and sovereign assets might begin shifting toward new regions of promise. We're entering an age where merit and resources matter more than legacy financial influence. Currency value may soon be decided by output and stability, not politics or inertia. So, when will this happen? All signs point to soon. Large banks don't overhaul software, retrain foreign exchange teams, or reroute liquidity networks unless the green light has already been given. This isn't speculative, it's strategic. Institutions like Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, and Chase are moving in tandem, and that only happens when timelines tighten. Some insiders believe we're no longer waiting for a decision, but merely the public disclosure. In that light, every headline, every banking memo, and every institutional movement becomes a signal worth watching. Time is now a critical factor. Whether you're an investor, researcher, or casual observer, staying informed is vital. These developments aren't academic, they're operational. We're seeing systemic recalibrations, data reconfigurations, and liquidity mechanisms quietly falling into place. The stage is nearly set. And if things unfold as current patterns suggest, we may soon witness a historic financial moment, one where currencies are realigned, economies reshaped, an opportunity unlocked on a scale never before seen. Disclaimer: the content provided on this channel is for informational and educational purposes only and does not constitute financial, investment, or legal advice. We are not financial advisors, and we strongly recommend that viewers do their own research or consult with a qualified professional before making any financial decisions. Currency revaluation and global financial developments are complex and subject to change. All opinions expressed are our own and based on publicly available information as of the time of recording. Viewer discretion and responsibility are advised.